Hey, what is going on, guys? So today I just wanted to share two recent Marvel Legends figures I've picked up. These are the new 60th anniversary wave in the plastic-free packaging. My first time having the plastic-free packaging, so it'd be interesting to see how these figures are. I did check them as best as I could in the store, of course, just to make sure they haven't been opened or anything like that, just from all the supposed situations going around. So my first time with it, so we'll see how it goes. But I do have the Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man here. Pretty stoked to have this one. I only decided to pick this one up recently just to go with my sort of classic comic Avenger sort of setup I have. And then also the Spider-Man Noir, or Noir, however you prefer to say that one. Really stoked to have that figure. We have been missing that one in the collection to go with the rest of the Spider-Verse wave, so really stoked to finally have that one. And here's just a bit of a shot of the side of the packaging. Artwork does look really nice there, I must say. And even on the front of the boxes, they do not look too bad at all, so I don't overly mind the design. It's just, of course, nice to be able to check out the figures in store. And here is a shot of the back of the packaging, just showing, of course, everything it does come with. So that all does look really good there. So we'll go ahead, we'll crack these guys open, and we'll take a closer look. So pulling the figure straight out of the packaging, you will see it now lives in a cardboard packaging there. It is secured in pretty well. The figure itself and the accessories are wrapped in a softer sort of paper. And there is the little instructions in there as well. You do just have to unclip the cardboard there and you can pull the figure straight out. So at least everything is still pretty secure. It definitely takes away a bit of a premium feel to it that the plastic did have, but nonetheless it's nice that the figures are still protected. And here we have the Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man straight out of the packaging. Just having a quick look at it all to make sure everything does look right. And so far so good, everything does look good about this one. The right leg does seem like it's sitting a little funny, but nothing too major. Can't see any noticeable paint defects or anything standing out that should not be there. So the first one, so far so good. We'll take a look at these accessories and make sure everything's all in there. So the first accessory we'll take a look at is the web accessory here. This does look really good. I believe it is the same as the previous ones they have done before. I do think these are pretty cool, so another nice addition. And then moving on to the hands. First off, we do have the two wall crawling hands here. Also the two gripping hands. And then the additional hands for the opposite sides of what comes on the figure, being the web shooting hand and the fisted hand also. Of course, he does also have the effect pieces that look like the web sort of netting under the arms. So there's the open version and the folded up version just for a more neutral pose position. So a lot more accessories in there with this one, which is really good to see. So the next one we'll be taking a look at is the Spider-Man Noir. Really stoked to finally have this figure. Like I mentioned, we've been missing out on this one for a while for the Spider-Verse sort of display. Of course, we'd also need the Penny Parker, I believe, and then we'll finally have that full set of characters from that first Into the Spider-Verse movie. So in the first little bag here, he does have the accessories, which is the Spider-Ham, which we have seen this figure before. The alternate head without the hat on, which does look really good. And then also the pistol that he does use. Nice little sculpt on that one also. So quickly comparing this Spider-Ham with the previous release one, which came with the Spider-Gwen. As mentioned, it is the same sculpt on this figure. As you can see the difference with the colour in the blue, it's a lot more darker. And then also with the red just being a bit more vibrant, a bit more sort of a gloss look to that as well. And now moving on to the figure himself, we'll go ahead and pull him out of the packaging. Secured the same way as the previous figure, as they all will be moving forward in this sort of paper as I mentioned earlier. We'll quickly make sure there's no issues with this one as well. There is a small little mark on his leg there, but other than that, does not look like there's any other issues. Everything else looks to be painted quite nicely over this one, so that's really good to see. So here we have the figures just out of the packaging, all sort of displayed up. As I was mentioning, that little mark there on the leg. but other than that there is no other issues. So a good first experience with the plastic free packaging, but as I mentioned, I do quite like the older style, as most people do. But if this is the way it is going to be moving forward, I'm glad that I haven't had any issues so far with these first two. The articulation is really good on this one, of course just a bit restricted with the cloak, as you could imagine with some of those sort of designs, but for the most part everything else is really good on there. And I do have the underarm web pieces, so they look pretty good also. And here's just some photos of him posed with those web pieces in under the arms. For the most part I am quite happy with them, but I just wanted to share with that last photo there. So I do have those ones in, just sometimes it is a bit restrictive on being able to see them on the figure, but for the most part they do work pretty well. The only other thing is you do really need to turn the shoulder to be able to move the arms out. Like as you can see on this side, the joint there is basically as far as it will go up. You just kind of need to spin it so it's facing into the butterfly joint. That way you can extend it further around, like on that side. So overall, I'm really happy with these two. Glad that I picked these ones up, and really stoked to finally have that one for the Spider-Verse display there. As mentioned, all fully pinless, so nice design on all these. I couldn't be more happy with how they have turned out. So as always guys, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.